Hello, I'm Ludovision, and this is part 2 of the Insane Difficulty Let's Rage Olympics. The first event I posted about a week ago was Ghosts and Goblins, a speedrun of the first level, and the second event is much more interesting, Battletoads. It's an excellent game, at least in my opinion, very good for its time as well, and here we go, starting the video. Now, as anyone who has actually watched any of my videos with commentary knows, I'm terrible at it. So I'm pretty much just going to be trying to comment on whatever's happening in the video, which I hope works out alright, because from what I hear, no one really wants to watch an uncommented video. And I'm rambling on too long about this. So, beating the crap out of this grey guy here, and the other one. Yeah, one of the things that snags me a lot on that bit is accidentally making the toad try to eat a fly instead of hitting him, which is one way to get hit on that bit. I've practiced quite a lot for this particular part of the Let's Rage, so particularly the first two levels, they're just, after doing them a fair amount of times, there's just no fun in them anymore. So that's the main reason I haven't put the effort into getting any better attempts in this one. I am a little disappointed with this run, but time's running out, and I've just about had enough of it anyway. So I think I'll be settling for less than what I wanted to, basically. This second level, I believe it was Stan who said it in his video, is that this is one that just gets really repetitive. There's no challenge in it, so you end up just screwing around for most of it. See me here kicking the birds. Some of the other runs I've paid a lot more attention to kicking the birds. I don't think I did much in this run, but yeah, saves time for the video, I guess. No one, at least I don't think anyone's interested in watching me hit a bird run. Oh, there we go. Never mind, I guess I did do that in this. I must be thinking of a different run. Anyway. Yeah, so it starts getting interesting with the third level though. That one took me a while. At first I didn't even know I'd be able to beat that level at all. Turns out after a while you work out a technique for getting through it easily enough. It can still catch you off guard sometimes, so if you're not paying too much attention. The fourth level would be the toughest one. Getting a bit of ahead of myself here, but I've already run out of things to talk about. The fourth level here is the ice level, and that's just trying to beat that in one life when you haven't really played this game before is pretty tough. Just saying. Now, I have beaten the fifth level before. I actually got really lucky on my first time playing it and beat the mines on the first try, but that was a practice run, so that wasn't one of my one life runs. So the first time I beat that level, I was really excited. I thought, hey, that mine bit was a bit overhyped. Then I got there a second time, and I think I've only beaten it once since then. I'd been hoping to at least get to the fourth mine to beat Stan on this thing, but it doesn't really matter. It's all for fun anyway. Still, that sixth level, I haven't managed to beat that at all yet, so that's as far as I've gone in this game. However, I'm ready to move on to something else at this point. And here, speaking of moving on, those electric bits at the end there, until I watched Stan's video, I didn't actually know you could just drop down through the middle there. It was more fun when you don't know that, though. Anyway, here I go, just kicking these things. Now, one of the annoying things about this part of the level is, apart from hitting them too early and missing your health, is trying to do the run-up kick, so you don't have to, you know, kick them a few times extra. Sometimes, especially on this bit here, it's possible to go past them and miss entirely. And that can actually get you killed if they recover fast enough. It's really irritating. Anyway, I'm up to the bikes now, and this is where it gets interesting. Now, at the first part, it's rather slow. And ironically, this is the part that trips me up the most, because after growing accustomed to the faster speed, you start reacting to them better, which means after dodging one, you move back sooner, or so you think, but the thing is actually coming so slowly that, yeah, I've done that a few times. I've moved back into the other position before it actually reaches me and died that way. This being one of my successful runs, I didn't do that this time, but still, it's one thing to watch out for. My technique for most of this is, well, I've memorized most of it, but I'm not too good at remembering while I'm actually doing it. So most of the time I can just remember, I remember this pattern pretty well, where it does the 4, then the 4 very fast afterwards. But most of it I just go with the flow. There are a few bits I tell by the music, like this bit. You can tell it's coming by the change in music. That little ledge is always there after second drop. Now this is also one of my best scoring runs. See, I've just hit 300k. I don't even know why I bothered with the scoring, but yeah, might as well. Now, getting to the good bit pretty soon, actually. Here we're getting to the aerial ramp, and next up is the monsters, or the robots, or whatever they are. And, I hear some people have difficulty with this part, so I'm just going to say, jumping too early is what got me the first couple of times, and you just have to make sure that you're on the right hand side of the platform before you jump again. As for this bit, since my eyesight isn't particularly good, I can't really look ahead and things like that. Besides, I go too fast for that. But what I do is more, I keep an eye on my character and just wait for the things to go past him and then dodge for the next one. Yeah, it's a terrible way of explaining it, but that's how I do it. And yeah. So I don't have the skill to just do it by reflex. If I try to just do it by muscle memory, I have the tendency to speed up. Now this one, I didn't trust myself to not kick it into the wall and bounce back onto me, so I ended up getting hit by it anyway, because of the speed. And one of the things that can catch you off guard is this guy, sometimes he starts throwing 2. When that happens, I don't really know how to get through it. If I recall correctly, I think one of the guys doing this challenge actually just beat this part regardless of him throwing 2 at once. I think that was Stan. Anyway. I was not expecting that when I did this. Luckily, the cube respawns. So, with that sort of slope, it can be tough if you don't have the timing right. It's possible to accidentally just slide off into the red spikes. And I'm just used to ducking there for some reason. And when I first played this level, I was convinced I would die from those red spikes by walking under them. Thought you had to, like, duck and slide. Turns out, it's just how they're drawn. It seems to protrude past their actual hitbox. No. This bit, that first one gets me sometimes, but it's just a matter of patience. The other two you can just jump right past and doesn't matter. One thing that does get me is, I do play with the Xbox controller's analog stick, and it's not particularly well suited to older games. So there are some parts, particularly on the icy level, where I'm trying to turn around to punch one of those ice blocks and it just doesn't happen. And that can cause me to get hit. And that bit there, sometimes I'm actually not sure how to trigger it, but there's the way you can knock an enemy down and then run up to boot them. And sometimes that gets triggered after killing an enemy there, which causes you to run straight past him directly into the spikes and die. Yeah. Now on my practice runs, I actually never got killed in this bit, but during a couple of my better actual one life runs, I have died once on that one on the left there, and once to this one here. See, it was still a pretty close call now. And onto the 5th level. Now this is the second time I've been to the 5th level on one life, but the first time was even worse. That's going to be hard to believe when you see how far I get here. I think the first attempt I died right about here, where I got hit anyway. Yeah, and that's the last log too. It's amazing. And yeah, that's the end of the run. Thank you for watching.